Oh, what's up, guys? What's going on? I am here. Give me 1 second to get this chat going. Get this up and ready. I posted it in a few groups. Nothing crazy. I don't really like to post my live chats. Everybody asks, when can I see you live? When can I see you live? You can always see me live. You just got to subscribe so you get the link when it comes up. So let me get over here with the live. Move it over. It's really a pain the way they do this nowadays. But anyway, so we got like 8 people on right now. Nothing crazy. I didn't expect anything crazy, but just some things I really wanted to talk about, okay? It's actually beautiful out right now. So, how you guys doing? I titled this Bigfoot Ideas because I had a few ideas in regards to a few things. You all know that I talk about Bigfoot, Sasquatch. It's a no-brainer. You know I talk about the paranormal stuff that happens. That's a no-brainer. But we're trying to go a little farther with that, into that realm, and see what types of experiments we can come up with. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a little while. The first thing I wanted to show you guys is this. This DVD is not too shabby. If you guys know David Paulides, he really has capitalized on this situation right here. There's a lot of people that have gone missing all over the United States, campgrounds everywhere. Very unexplained, mysterious circumstances. So if you get a chance, pick that up. It's a new DVD that came out. I'm not promoting it for him, but it's, you know, for everybody out there, it's good to watch. But I do have an idea for this. Okay, because in this isn't the whole thing I want to talk about, but in this, in the Missing 411, they talk about how all these researchers and searchers come out to try to find the missing person or child or whoever's missing at the time, right? Well, I understand they have their expertise and they can grid sections and do things, and that's what they're trained to do, right? What's up, Omar? The thing is, if a lot of us think that Bigfoot are stealing kids or whatever the situation entails, right? So whatever this DVD basically translates to, when there's these missing kids in the mountains, why isn't there like a special response team? Like, because we think different, like Bigfooters, right? Researchers, we think different. We know how to find Bigfoot. We know how to find these central core locations. We know what sides of the mountains and what crests they're on, military crests, and certain things that they do in certain spots, right? Where a regular search and rescue crew is trained to search within this small paradigm box. Only so far, or how could the child have made it this far, or, you know, certain parameters. They got to fit in a box, right? Any searcher has to fit in this box that's trying to find, you know, something from here. So what if, hypothetical, what if there was a Bigfoot response team? Now, this is the first you're going to hear of this, but what if there was a Bigfoot response team that would get updates from national parks when children have gone missing? Kind of like the response teams do that go looking for them, right? What's up, Dan? Browndorf, Mike. We got this updated information, and we used our knowledge of how we found Bigfoot or find Bigfoot multiple times in core locations and structures and sides of hills and mountains. What if we were contacted, kind of like the BFRO, let's say, and we got all the criteria and we used our knowledge to help try to find these kids? 5 or 6 of us that actually put our minds to this and started looking, like, you know, Colorado Bigfoot, Michael Merchant, Snowwalker Prime, Utah Sasquatch, Cali, Anthony Moffat. You know, these are all the guys, my buddy Shane. A lot of people go in the woods and they're able to find Bigfoot because we've done it and we've learned. What if we could use that to help find these missing children? Nobody's really ever thought about that. So if we were updated, all of a sudden, boom, you know, here's the group. We got a group of researchers. Bam, something like this transpires. We get the phone call along with their other CERT teams. Let the other CERT teams come too, you know. But we would have our own group of people that could respond, and choose and pick locations that we believe, even if it was 5 to 7 miles away from the original, let's say, abduction zone, right? We could, you know, if we had access to their helicopters or whatever it was, I think that our chances of helping these kids would be a lot better, because these people that are getting out, you know, don't get me wrong, the search and rescue teams are great. That's what they're trained to do. But they're not trained to think along the lines of Bigfooting or Bigfoot. Don't you think that would be big? Don't you think that would kind of be awesome? I started thinking about this, like just the way they grid and the way they do line searches and the way they set things up with their choppers, and it's all standard protocol. And the percentage that they actually have of finding a child after like 48 hours, it drastically diminishes. So I think that if there was some credible teams that could say, hey, if anything, maybe we could help. Maybe you'd have a biologist, maybe you'd have, you know, your regular researchers, but we would have to be keyed into, let's say, the Department of Interior, whoever it is. There would need some credibility, have to be formed. I think using our knowledge, we could help find these children, because I think we would look in totally different areas. I think it'd be great. But check that out. Anyway, that wasn't the whole thing. I just wanted to talk in regards to a few things. That's why I came live, because I like to chat with you guys. Let's see what they said. Cryptids, it's all Bigfoot. It's up to us to take it to the next level. And that's what we're attempting to do. We're attempting to pass that torch. But as you notice, people, you know, from doing this 50 years, Ron Moorhead, all these guys that we talk with, everybody that talks amongst each other, Michael Merchant, a lot of people are experiencing this paranormal aspect, this paranormal realm. Now, I told you I had some missing time. The missing time that I had, I was in point A location, ended up in point B location, could not get out of the woods, had to use 911 to help ping me to get out. You've probably heard the story, so I'm not going to go into great detail. But if it was some type of vortexual energy, because everything is energy, everything vibrates, there's a whole force behind everything, that people really need to key in on. So could this be happening to these kids? So let's say they did walk into one of these vortexual areas. Could that possibly explain how they get from point A to point B, which is 5? I just watched this, and Les Stroud. Okay, Les Stroud, good dude, great guy. He's in this. So he talks about how this one child was actually found face down in the snow. Luckily, they found him. The kid was 12 miles away from his house. He disappeared, and within 20 hours, he was 12 miles. It was unreal. Like, they found his set of foot tracks 5 miles away in a cornfield, and then the trackers ended up going another 8 miles this direction. It was unreal when they found the kid, you know, face down in the snow. And this was in like 1958. So this has been going on a long time. So what happens, like it happened to me, I'm old enough. I had the sense to use my phone. What's up, Vicky? I got on the phone, called 911. I was able to get out of the woods, right? If these kids, they don't have that. They're just aimless. So if they did walk into a hot zone or a vortexual area, what happens? Is that how they end up 12 miles away like that? Since I've experienced it, it may be possible. I don't really know. But like I was saying, if a Bigfoot response team was put in place to assist CERT teams, I think we'd have a better chance of finding these kids. Just think about that. You put people on a team that can find these things, find these structures, find these evidence on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis that we all talk about. There's a community and it's huge. That would be a jump off point for everybody to come together, right? To help the kids, no matter what. If we could do that, I bet you we would have a higher success rate than some of the CERT teams, because if we think Bigfoot is taking these kids, because let's face it, there's only something like 14 reports of mountain lion attacks actually killing people in a certain amount of time, like the last 10 years or something. It's actually only certain ones are documented. Let's see, Lost Coast tapes. Yeah, that, you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to make a positive out of something to not only help us or help the kids, but help the families that are grieving and everything. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this paranormal realm has gotten more and more intriguing. And recently, so Michael Merchant did a video where he talks about his theory, which is awesome, which is great. You know, everybody's got their theory, run with it. You know, more power to you, good stuff. I had contacted him because he was the first one to talk actually in relation to plant people. So I give him that respect. Okay. He's got that 100% respect. He mentions me in his video because he thought that I meant, that was my theory first. That really wasn't my theory idea. It was more or less, I had a basis where I was trying to plug everything in. And there was a plant-based theory that I had come up with, and I had messaged it to him, and he didn't really understand what I meant, because I was trying to answer a bunch of questions, how they mind speak, how they cloak, how they do all these things that people want to talk about. What's up, D? And if everybody wants to say, how do they do all this whole spectrum, right? How do they do that? I wanted one answer. So that's when I was looking into chameleons and how chameleons change color, like I stated, how they have chromosomes to do things. And then I started looking into there's a lot of scientific testing done throughout the years. So what they would do for plants, that's kind of how I was looking in this plant theory, but more or less the chlorophyll. The chlorophyll, I think, is still part of everything that's going to make this happen and make everything start to make sense. You hear about, people saying they have chlorophyll in their blood, or this certain chlorophyll. It's a derivative of chlorophyll. It's weird. There's crazy things going on. But so where was I? Oh, so what they do is they hook the plants to like an electrode, and a person will stand there. You can Google it on YouTube. Mythbusters have done it. Scientists have done it, and they'll hook that. Sorry about that. They'll hook that plant to a graph, and you guys have heard this before. That graph will show an output. It'll show a reading based on what I'm thinking to the plant. It shows a reaction, cause and effect type thing. So how does a plant do that? And they really don't even have an answer for that, because essentially in the beginning they'll have the plant hooked up to the person, and then they'll remove it and it still happens. It's almost like an exterior stimuli that the plant can understand. So that's why I was looking into Sasquatch, how they can do that. So I was starting to form that plant theory, and then right after that is when Michael had stated his whole thing. So he came up with that theory. That's his 100%. Much respect is due to him, because for him and me to kind of come up with the same situation, it's interesting. Like I said, same thing with Dr. Johnson. I'm not backing it, anything like that, but I think it's coincidental that people 2,000 miles apart can come up with the same things. People like in Colorado and me, we get almost the same photos of Bigfoot. One of Mark's best photos, he has one where you could see this white band right across its eyes. Beginning of this year, we caught the same thing, and it's astronomical how these things come together. So I'm actually going to be putting a video together pretty soon of a bunch of different people. Sasquatch Ontario, Michael Merchant, Barb Shoup, I think Gardner, a bunch of us. I don't know. Anyway, I asked a few people, Callie, Colorado Forest Beings, everybody. I wanted everybody's input maybe a piece or two of what they caught in the woods, which is paranormal or odd. Orbs, but real orbs, colors, different things. And it's going to take a little while, but I'm going to piece it together. And I want to show everybody from an aspect what we're all catching. You have your flesh and blood who's already up here. They have their center stage. We don't have the people here saying, hey, look at us. Look at all of us. Look at everything we have sitting here, and look what you have and see. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to make the playing field level. That's the whole goal here, because we have the evidence. Everybody's showing the evidence. I don't care if it's circumstantial. Just relax. It'll get there. Let's see. What do we got? Could be that we are the plant too. That's not there for no reason. The chlorophyll is in their DNA. Exactly. That's like Melba Ketchum when she talked about that. I've talked to her on the phone before too. And everybody, what happens is 5 years in, 20 years in, 50 years in, you're seeing all these people. And Bob Gimlin, yes, Bob Gimlin has talked in reference to paranormal aspects of Bigfoot. Campfire talks. He's talked on people's YouTube channels, even if it was off the cuff. Ron Moorhead, all these people that, and that's why I refer to Michael Merchant so much, because if anybody's came full circle, it's him. Because as you all know, he didn't even believe in Bigfoot, it's amazing. And then your experiences justify what you believe, okay? And the problem is, you always try to leave your belief at the door when you're really researching, even though you've had these experiences. So we try to overlook it, and we've done that for so long. We've overlooked things for so long, and then what happens is it gets so prevalent, like these things, and then when you put your video out, people find it. People are like, did you see that? Did you go over? Did you look at that? That was amazing. Like, sometimes we see it and you try to be humble, but other times it's just there. And that's why like I was talking to D here, and Dan and a bunch of people, there's got to be a better way to see these creatures if they are paranormal. If there is some type of, I don't care what type of researcher you are, you have to look at this. Because if you're not looking at this, I'm not going to consider you a researcher. And I hope everybody else out there doesn't consider you a researcher, because you're being biased. You're saying, I have my theory, it's flesh and blood, and I don't need to look at that just because I don't want to. Science doesn't work that way. A scientist can't say, well, I don't believe it's that, so I can't test that. No, it don't work that way. They have to say, well, let's do this shit and see where it ends up. That's basically what happens. So if we put the, like people are commenting here, the money and everything like that, you just got to put that to the side. You got to be down to earth, respectful. You can't be biased. It's good to take a team, but if everybody can come together and really do these things, it's hard to come together because everybody has their own agenda. And this is a lot, guys. People go in the field, they come up with their theories, they do their videos, they share with you. Everybody has their own platform. So to get a platform together for everyone, it's kind of hard. But little by little, as you can see, it's changing. The whole paradigm is changing. Everybody is coming together. People are starting to speak out more. It was different before. The whole Bigfoot, when I came into this, the whole research was crazy. People talked about the woo, but everybody was scared. Everybody was scared to talk about this paranormal aspect that could possibly have something to do with Bigfoot. I want to say, not being conceited, that I had a part in changing that, shifting that, and for the better. I think it's good because I came out and started talking. And there was a few other ones talking, but I kind of backed them up. Sasquatch Ontario, maybe Barb Shoop, and a couple other people. And then a couple other people seen me, and we all started, collaborating. And more people will message me and be like, what is this? What did I find? I don't know. I'm just being honest. So I try to remove my belief when I'm in the field, because it's so hard. And we talk amongst our team, and it's really good input when you can share with a team of people. You know what I mean? And in case you guys missed it, we were talking about this earlier. on how I believe that with the kids missing, if there was a Bigfoot team that was put together, the way we can find Bigfoot and track them and find key things. If we believe Bigfoot have something to do with these children, I believe there should be a Bigfoot response team put in place that can assist your standard rescue. And we could use our own techniques using some of their equipment and put us in certain locations that we believe the core locations of Bigfoot would be. We may have a better chance of finding these kids when these things happen. That's off the cuff, but I believe there's enough people on YouTube that share enough damn evidence, real evidence, that we could do something like this. So share that idea, talk to people, figure it out. If you're connected somehow, share it on your channel, because that would be an epic team. Just because we're following Bigfoot doesn't make us different. It just, there's a whole thing to it. But if you notice, take everybody's channel that you guys all watch. You love our channels because of what we find, right? It's not, I mean, it could be because of us, or you like our talent or what we provide, entertainment, I guess. But it's because of what we find and how we find it. So if we had 8 brains put together on a team for this, and we assisted these CERT teams, what do you think would happen? Do you consider them hitting you with infrasound as... I don't believe they hit you with anything. I explained this before. What I believe is everything has a vibrational frequency. Everything is frequency. Everything has force. Everything in nature. Down to the tree rings. Trees have energy. The earth is in, you know, negative, and it's like your ground. So everything has energy. But what I believe, here's the easiest, simplest thing I tell people without getting off the chart here. Remember back in the day, you'd take your cell phone in the car and it would pick it up on your speakers, and you hear doot, 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 doot. Those two frequencies were meshing. There was a it's an interference technically. So when you get too close to one, that interference from their vibrational frequency to your vibrational frequency, almost like being hit with radiation. So people think like, oh my God, I got zapped. They're not out there like zapping you. You know what I'm saying? What it is you just got too close and you didn't realize that. They could be in a tree. They could be wherever it is. They could be AKA cloaked. These terms I really hate. And I'm going to be figuring out new vocab for these terms, the woo and everything else, because I call it crypto normal. It's crypto normal. That's what it is, because we have no idea what's going on, and even science don't. But we started talking. I was talking with D there. Exactly. They probably wouldn't let us because of disclosure. But they also stated in here that if we wanted a list of missing children, it was like $1.4 million. But if you had people like David Paulides and all us Bigfoot researchers on a team, what if we just up the percentage because of the way we think? We Bigfooters think different. I don't care what anybody says. They think different because of what they've experienced, what they've seen, what has happened in the woods. So if we all got together with a map and we started talking based on our beliefs and our own successes, I bet you we could find these locations faster than their standard line search, where they start here, work out. You know, that you have to do that. But I think it would give greater heed to say, hey, our team believes these 4 sections, so let's split up. Let's hit those 4 sections on the mountain. Could it help? I don't know. I really think it's crazy, but it was my idea. So share that. Talk about it. See what can happen with that. Magnetics. Next, I'm going to be going in the woods, and I'm just going to take a standard pair of 3D glasses that you wear at the theater. I'm going to try wearing that in the woods. I'm also going to get back to using my red filter paper. I'm going to put it on my camera, and I'm going to go out and see that, because essentially it's not really doing much to change a frequency, but it could possibly help pick up things that the naked eye couldn't see. Then we also talked about a set of glasses that could, or a camera mount that could possibly, the camera might be affected too much, but glasses, because they found a protein in your eye that actually differentiates with magnetism and frequency and certain things. They didn't know the eye had this protein, okay? If you could wear a pair of glasses that had a vortex on it, like I did, like just a standard two magnets that are positioned apart to leave that ball of energy in between them. Even if they're little magnets, if they were there, or if you had a correlating magnetic vortex field where your eyes, maybe it could change the way you see things. Because I'm really trying to stay on a scientific type of thing. I mean, I'm not trying to say they're aliens. I'm not trying to say they're this, they're that. I've had all kinds of encounters, but it gets frustrating because you're trying to go the scientific route. And I know, D, they're working on a thing for you. But I'm really trying to, that's why I reached out to some of the paranormal groups, because some of those people that have been studying the paranormal may know some things or have some things that we could use or obtain to use in the field to kind of see different things or find different things. Do you guys have any ideas what could be done? I mean, along the paranormal spectrum, you know what I'm saying? Also, I do want to show you, if I have it here. Actually, I do, but I have to find it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you something real quick. If I can find it. Probably not. Probably should have had it down below. But let's see. Pictures. Photo, is that it? That may be. Yes, right here. Give me a second. So I'm going to do a screen share, and hopefully you guys get to see this, because that's what I'm going to do. Sound good? Works for me. So, whoop, I don't want that. I want this one. Screen share, share, and you guys are going to see it. So this is what I've been writing. This will probably be out sometime next year. This is all copyrighted. I'm trying to touch every aspect in the book. But this is what it's going to be. This is the cover of the book. You might not be able to see everything, but that is the cover of the book. All these aspects just because I think it's good. It's something I've been working on little by little by little. Yeah, you've been Brown Dwarf says he's been focusing more on trees. Trees are not the answer, but trees have a lot to do with it. But like I said, the chlorophyll, right? If we're talking about chlorophyll and photosynthesis, and how does photosynthesis start? It needs the sun. So there's a big tie-in right there. And if, like we talked about before, the megalithic structures, pyramids, Machu Picchu, Lake Titicaca, all these places had these alignments. How did they do that astrologically? They couldn't fly. They couldn't do these things. So there's more than just Bigfoot here. I mean, do I think they're strictly flesh and blood? What I seen kind of look flesh and blood, okay? But I believe that there's a shifting taking place that they can do. So it's almost like you have 1 foot in one camp, 1 foot in the other camp, and you're straddling the fence like this. And you're taking in all the stuff from over here and all the stuff from over here, and you're implementing it in the field, right? I mean, that's the best way to kind of do it, right? I like your guys' input. I like your ideas, because who else are we going to help get, who's going to help us along the way? We can only come up with so much ourselves. We've come up, all the guys on YouTube that you've seen, the guys, the gals, everybody, we've come up with great ideas. But you don't really see anybody doing experiments in the woods. Why is that? I don't have an answer. Do you? I don't know. It'll be on Amazon. Yep. Vicky, I'll have it up. Like I said, it'll be up next year, but I'm trying to touch every base. Not that I want to write a book, okay? Not that it's just It's like I got to get it out. And all these videos don't let me get it out in one segment. Okay, so you may get this segment, somebody else may get the next segment, and it's like then they don't know what I'm talking about or where I'm trying to go with things. So that's why that book is going to, I mean, whatever, it is what it is. There's going to be some things, I mean, you know, there's going to be pictures and all that type of stuff, but those are all chapters that I'm going to be trying to hit and focusing on. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like my research. I'm glad a lot of people do. I'm trying to be an independent thinker and push that level, you know, because you're always trying to please people, let's say, but I'm not trying to do that. You want to please the scientific people and have all that. You want to do the right thing and follow a certain basis, which may be science based, right? In all aspects. So you take, you know, you have your outline, take your outline, right? Whatever that is, if it's this scientific outline here, and apply it to everything. It usually doesn't answer things, but I tell you, if you get a chance, pick up Ron Moorhead's book, The Quantum Bigfoot. That will explain a lot of things. It's not exactly right to my opinion, but that's his experience. So that's why he went that route. And I greatly appreciate that he did that, because a lot more people are speaking out on this whole subject. I don't know. There was something else I wanted to touch on. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm just like an open book usually. There was something else and I kind of forgot because I got off track. I know Seth Breedlove, his movie is #1 on Amazon. I think it's Mothman something. You guys can check that out. I know right now that'll be coming out. That's going to be great. He just did a sit down with Ed Brown. It's all fine and dandy. You know, everybody wants to make money. We get it. We get it. We got it. From T-shirts to TVs to whatever. But I think we can do it in a better light. I think we can do it. I think, frankly, everybody's tired of the same old, right? I mean, it is what it is. I probably wouldn't want to do anything on TV if I had the evidence. People are like, well, you guys are all out to make money. What they don't understand is, A, the cost associated to do everything that we do. B, any money we do get, oh, well, I just made my money back, or damn, I lost $150, or, you know, whatever. The real money, put this in perspective, any real funding or money would come if you had a Bigfoot appendage, a Bigfoot body, a Bigfoot whatever. That's where that comes from. And I don't think people understand that. I just worship you and get you upset. That's what they're here to do. They're here to get you upset. You just you have to laugh at these people when they say something and it's like so outlandish, or they just try to spin it back around and put it on you. It's funny, guys. It really is. You just gotta be up and up. Oh, and one of the things I want to talk about is people getting sick. Okay, so my camera has been feeling the effects. Let's start here. I've noticed my camera is being degraded little by little by little. And I'm, you know, it's like $1,000 camera. It's a really great camera. It's in the woods with me all the time. And I start to wonder why, you know, I don't bang it, I don't smash it. And if, you know, things like that, the outside's really good. There's no issues with the lenses. Damn, this pollen is crazy. But the camera is like starting to malfunction. The camera is starting to cause issues, and I really don't know why. It'll glitch a lot. There's times where it won't turn on. It's almost like it's malfunctioning. So I'm really starting to look at the fact that when we go into these areas, it's almost like our cameras are being hit with radiation. It's like that type of, you know, and repeated exposure to these cameras, that's why they're fritzing out so much. We're not even picking up on this situation. But this is what I started paying attention to. Well, recently, I've had health issues. Other people have had health issues. A lot of Bigfooters have had problems. Recently, Utah Sasquatch shared a video ad for him. He can barely make videos. He's struggling right now. He has a really bad health issue, which he doesn't know what it is. And here's the key thing. A lot of the researchers that do get ill, the doctors kind of don't know what it is. So it's really weird. You know, he thinks it's, you know, he don't know if it's thyroid or endocrine or, you know, mine was like, he's had sinus problems. A lot of people have sinus problems. Like, I never had these sinus problems really. I hunted my whole life until I started Bigfooting. I never had teeth issues till I started. Never had certain issues, and you know, it's weird. It's just weird to correlate these things. But like Utah said, he has to drink. I don't drink energy drinks. I drink water. I try to eat healthy. Try to do things. My only bad thing I do is smoke. I don't drink. I don't even do it. You know, I don't do anything. But Utah was talking. Rio was talking in regards. He has to drink like 3 energy drinks just to do a video because he can't like even get out of bed. There's something seriously wrong with that. Something's really going on here, and we need to take a look at it. Why are so many people having problems? That Bigfoot, it's odd. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys paid attention to that. No, smoking does have bad effects. It really does. I'm actually going to be quitting on my birthday. I said that in another video. That's my goal. I'm, you know, I know I can do it. So it takes time. So I've been trying to cut down little by little. And if you notice, I don't smoke my whole cigarette. I throw it out because I want to have the willpower to be able to do things that and say I don't need it. No, actually, Rio is taking care of himself. He takes a lot of supplements, fish oil, magnesium, like a lot of us. You know, everybody takes these things, but we're still having these ill effects. You go to doctors, you can get blood tests. Nobody can really figure out what's going on. It's really weird. I mean, you've got people, a lot of people, you know, pass away. A lot of people, you know, get cancers. What I believe is we're not paying attention to is when we're going in these areas getting Bigfoot evidence, these areas are correlated with higher energy fields, whether it be Higgs fields, whether it be magnetism, whatever frequency, it's affecting us. It really is. It's almost like we keep going into these areas, and it's like radiation is the best I can explain it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain that. Yeah, I don't even want to smoke an electric cigarette. Honestly, I'm gonna quit. Once I'm done, I'm done, and that's what it is. You got to have willpower. It really takes willpower to do what we do. And if I can do what we do, I can quit smoking. That's just, we were off topic, but that's, you know, but everybody's getting ill, and I've noticed it. You know, you lose this guy or you lose this person, or this guy's sick or that guy, you know, can't do it anymore. And you hear this all the time. But if you notice, if you start getting a lot of Bigfoot or a lot of paranormal evidence on camera, over 2 years, my camera is almost fried. My birthday is the end of June. So got about 3 weeks, and then I'm trying to be done. Yes, you see changes. If you watch our videos, yes, like Rio's videos, yep. If you start watching his videos from the beginning till now, you see the drastic changes, in everybody almost, in a lot of people. So there is something, like I said, but I'm. It doesn't happen. Even Mark, like from Colorado, he's lost weight. I mean, I get it from hiking, but it may not have hit him yet or something, but he lost a lot of weight, which is good. You know, it's really good. People get healthy and everything. Yeah, it could be stress, but people like me, all the BS, we just overlook that. We don't pay attention to that. Like, if you're out here trying to share research or just entertain, you have to understand that's just what it is. So we overlook it. I overlook it. I laugh. If there's somebody negative or some issue or something going on, I don't have time for that. It's crazy. Let's see. You're lucky. I mean, maybe you're physically fine. You go out quite a bit. Maybe you don't have a good Bigfoot area. I don't know. Maybe you just have a strict Bigfoot area and nothing paranormal or anything like that. But EMFs, somebody just said that. Sounds like EMF under power lines. Exactly. It's like we're really being hit with this. Actually, somebody, I'm going to be doing a radio show here the next couple of days with it's Old Religion Dystopia, Knowing versus Belief. We were talking about the megalithic structures and people, he brought up the Georgia Guidestones. Well, like I said, there's a hole on the side of the Guidestones, which goes to another hole, which emits the sunlight that comes in. They have a term for all that. Just to get off topic, but that's why I started looking into vortexual things, because in these, all these megalithic structures kind of have these light chambers. And what they used to say is it's for the solstices, so they know when the solstices would be coming. Well, that doesn't make sense to me, because any good person in the field knows when the solstice is. They don't need a calendar. They know to the land. They live off the land. That's the whole situation. Something more that they knew, just like the astrology. And if you look at the where is it at, I'm drawing a blank, you see the astronauts, all the figures, is it Peru? They're all like on the landscape. When you fly above them, they made these huge like pictures of birds, and it's all rock formations, but it's not, it's got to be Peru. But there's something to tie into all this stuff. And that's why I like when like sacred geometry. I like when all my subscribers or watchers learn about this stuff, so we can actually conversate about it and say, hey, I know what this is. And Sooner Sasquatch says, I had to buy a new cell phone because all the areas I've taken my phone to do live videos, it overheated. You see what I'm saying? My camera is fritzing out where it won't turn on. I mean, I got $1,000 camera. Your cell phone's probably $1,000 cell phone, the way they cost these days. It should not be doing that, and we don't abuse anything. It's just there, truck, home. It's not like we beat it up. We're not running through the woods. It's crazy. Isn't radiation tied to UFO encounters also? Well, that's what they say. That's what they say. But it's all like let's put this in a simple way. Like Vicky just said, your chi. If you can tap into your chi, you see people doing crazy things, and chi is that energy that you can't see. That is a huge basis. You know, a lot of people talk about 0 point energy and a lot of different aspects. But you got to remember, if people don't know what the Higgs boson field is, that is everywhere. So I won't go into depth about things like I do with other researchers, but there's a lot of things that can, if a Bigfoot wanted to or was able to use that Higgs field to bounce around, it would have no problem doing it. And the reason I state that is because the video where I caught something that actually looks like it comes out of the ground, it's weird. It's based on experience, but I'm not going to go into beliefs. Let's see. Have you ever seen rock piles in the woods? Oh yeah. Well, yeah, we've seen rock piles a lot of places, but you see, the problem is it depends. I wouldn't look for rock piles. What I would look for is stone that is there, let's say like granite or quartz or whatever it is, that is not native to your area. So let's say we have mostly granite or limestone or whatever. If I came across something that our area doesn't have, that's when I'd be interested, like a lot of quartz or something stacked of that nature, things that are not there. The inner dimension is real. They talk about 12 or 20 different dimensions. It's almost like they're stacked on top of each other, and it's really weird. I mean, I'm trying to I'm not a scientist, okay, but I'm really trying to think outside the box to perform these tasks, not only for me to get answers, but for you guys to see. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know when we put these magnets out and we do these things. if I didn't have to carry this stuff in the woods, I have a really good idea. I don't want to share it yet, but it's just too, I would need like a red, we talked about this, me and D, we need like a red wagon to pull everything out in the woods. But it's crazy. Which comes from coal ash? Gold. The forests are full of aluminum, barium, strontium. Right, the Manhattan Project. There's a lot of things. I mean, have you guys looked at Hutchinson effect? Have you looked at anything like that and how the guy just kind of like went off the grid? I think you should really check that out. Like the things he was able to do with frequency. That's key. Hi, Cindy. Oh, flat Earth binge, huh? That's cool. That's the thing. I don't pay attention. Like flat Earth. I mean, I don't know. Everybody's got a theory. I guess if I experience something, but that's the thing. Most of the flat earthers haven't really experienced anything. It's all going off of theory and their own mathematics or that whole situation. But the one thing I did see is, so a guy did a thing. I got to rant about this real quick. So he's in a plane and he's got a level. He brought a level with him. And as he's flying, he's saying that the nose of the plane via his mathematics should tip so many degrees to go around the curvature of the earth. And the whole time he's got the level like on the armchair and it was like level. So I don't know what he had, whatever. The Nazca lines, that's what they were. Sorry. When I was talking about all the figures out, yes, thank you for reminding me. If I had a cheat sheet right here, that would be good, but it all has to be up here. That's the only way, because when I go in the field, I can't just take cheat sheets and be like, no, I gotta remember this stuff. An experiment is in order, but I'd like to understand what you guys would want to see. I mean, we've talked about this. We've talked about a Bigfoot response team to help kids like this. We've talked about energies. We've talked about, orbs. Look, if you really knew the reason why the tree rings are there, and I talked with a friend of mine from a cryptid project that we're doing. He has a good theory, and I actually seen that same theory 2 days later. So it's odd. All these cell phones, high intention wires, orbs. Well, that's what they're talking about too, coming out with 5K and how it can affect us. As they move up that spectrum to 8K, 10K, they're going to start running into these fields like the Higgs fields and these different type of problems. And it could start affecting people's health. It really could. It could start to do things. I mean, anything could relate to Bigfoot. It all depends on your belief of what you want it to be. That's the thing. I don't want it to be anything. I want to find out what it is. I want the truth. I want to say, I know what it is. And I can show proof of that. I can't just go off on a tirade. I can give you all my ideas, my thoughts, my projections, what I write down, what it could be, what it couldn't be. Until I have it there for you, or whatever it may be that I have there for you and say, here it is. I mean, then we'll really know something, right? But yeah, guys, I'm going to hop off now. I just want to do this little rant, talk about some things, get it all out there. I'm glad we had 30 viewers. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to run by. We're going to be going back out in the field, doing some things this week. It's supposed to be really nice this weekend. I've got some ideas on where I want to go. I got last idea. So, see, there was a couple of people that jumped off and they're going to miss this idea. The same thing I did with the magnets before, but this time what I want to do is I want to put 3 together here on one structure. I want to take 3 more that I've reverse pulled together, and I want to put them on another structure. While people are at the same locations, 2 people here, 2 people there with cameras rolling. I want to see if there, or a jump, like a jump box. See what I'm saying? Because I believe that these structures have magnetism properties. The way that they put them together and stick them in the ground you know, like negatives and positives. Like an electric circuit has to come full circle. And I think some of these structures may be doing that. That's just an idea. So we'll see where that goes. But that's what I want to do. Take the magnets at one structure, put the magnets at another structure, see if they can be connected somehow. If I got to put a rod in the ground or whatever it is, just see if what goes on and see what we can catch on camera. That's the next experiment that's coming up. All the new magnets should be here Friday or Saturday. So that's when I plan on doing it. So we'll see how that works. It was just an idea. You never know. See what we catch on camera. See what everybody, the naysayers, can say about whatever happens. Nothing happens. Hey, nothing happens. But you got to try it. So wood's not conductive. Right. Okay. Hi, Ryan, everyone. I'm new here. Hi, Geraldine. I was actually just going to be hopping off. The Brat, can you email me? Because by the time I get off of here and try to look through that, I'll give you my personal email, double2012@gmail.com. That goes for anybody else if you want to email me. How you doing, Logan? Anybody want to talk or do anything like that, it's there. I give you the option. If I don't answer back right away, it's because I've got a lot of emails and messages and everything else. Don't take it personal, okay? But I do try to get back as soon as possible. The rod work construction guys showed me to find water. Yeah, you can even use dowsing rods to find water. Wood doesn't need to be conductive, but things flow through wood, okay? So if it happens to be wet or moist or whatever, and you put it into a negative, which is the ground, and there's some, you know, because a tree has energy, so it has to have flowing energy or it wouldn't be alive. And the way they're shaped as tree structures, because repeatedly we're finding this teepee, you know, teepees. Recently, Mark from Colorado found what's like a trident. And what makes me out is I found some type of structure like that here last year, that I shared photos of. Not exact trident, but it's kind of like sloped up and it's got a double top to it. It's kind of like they were doubled like this. It was really weird. It was odd. But then come winter, it was taken down. And we actually found this the other day that one of our structures, our very first structure we found, was there 4 years. It's gone. It was totally taken down. I couldn't find it. I was really upset. I was really upset that it was gone. But the weird part was just down the road, a quarter mile is where we found a really big structure built. So did they move? Did they change direction? Did something force them? We don't know. Try a radon detector. Yeah, I mean, this is concerning a compass test I did. Awesome. Make sure you email me, and as soon as I get the email, I'll definitely get back with you and we can do some talking. If it's too much in depth, we'll talk through via text or via phone. I could tell you exactly how to interact, but everybody has their own idea. Steve, that's what this is for. I'm trying to implement my ideas, and I asked you guys, what are your ideas? Go ahead and email me. Let's talk. double2012@gmail.com. Well, yeah, here's the thing. We'll talk real quick. If this is a universal being, okay, if Bigfoot is a universal being, even if it's flesh and blood, okay, I'm going to take it from your aspect. It's flesh and blood. What other flesh and blood creature, humans, other animals, who makes teepees and structures to get through the woods like a GPS system? When I go through the woods, the most we might do, we use trail markers now, but Indians, they break trees. That's it. They just, that's all they were doing. Any other animal going through the woods doesn't say, well, I got to stop and build this so I can find my way through. No, they have intuition. It's like programmed, okay? They know their surroundings, and even humans can figure these things out. I used to believe they were following these structures, but it's more than that. But it's not because they need to know where they're going. It has a different basis to it. There's more to this. There's a deeper thought into this process. So I'm getting there, okay? I'll get there. Ran across Rio's project going see, seemed like reasonable request. I live in St. Louis area, did not expect to find anything. I have been in the woods now for 19 days straight and am in shock. You will find some things. Don't go batshit crazy on us though, okay? Don't think everything is Bigfoot, because a lot of people do that. Just take your time. Be biased. Don't be biased. I mean, just write down what you experience, learn about it, photo it, talk about it with others, form your own opinion. You know, take what you were given and run with it. And that's how you become engulfed in what your end belief will be. They are there for a reason. They were laughing. When you've been through the woods so much, you just kind of know where to go. You're led that way. Certain research, here's the thing. You ever go on certain people's channels and their Bigfoot research just doesn't look as good as somebody else's? It's because of a few things. They're not either in tune, they don't have the right area, they don't have the ability to do what others can do. So when you watch somebody else's, you're like, holy shoot, look what they had. Oh my God, and it was so good. And did you see this? And did you see that? And I pulled this out and pulled that out. And it's because certain areas, certain energies, certain types of people, all these correlating factors add up. And you know, it's for a reason. They didn't make it happen. It's just that's how it happens. Not quite that crazy yet, but enough to start researching out of conversation. You're not crazy because you want to research. You're crazy because you have a thirst for knowledge and truth. And what happens is you're going to start experiencing things that you can't quite explain. Let's see. Been listening. Keep up the great work. Thank Roland. Appreciate it. There's a vid on my channel titled "You Tell Me." I would love some feedback on that. What might it be? Hey, I gave out my email. You can go ahead and send it to me, brother. It's double2012@gmail.com. That is my personal. I don't give out other ones, but I'll give you my personal. I don't care. I give it to people because I like to conversate. I like to explore. I don't have all the answers, but I'm pushing the limit. I'm pushing everything I can come up with to do these things, because I'm trying to stand out. I'm trying to be different. I want to be an independent thinker and come to my own solutions. But I like input because I'd like to bring other people in and say, hey, you know, like I talk with so many people, but it's hard. Like we were talking, we want to have like control. Like we want people to test the same tests in their areas and film it and see kind of what they come out with. You understand what I'm saying? It gives you your control. It might not happen one time, but it might happen another time. You know, it just odd things. All right, guys, it's late. It's getting dark. 9:30. I'm out of here. Stay positive. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Keep squatching until the next one. Later.